Every Watsu begins floating someone at our heart. Once we determine they are comfortable, we drop into the emptiness at the bottom of the breath and do nothing. When the weight on our arm begins to lighten up as they breathe in, our breath is drawn up. And then, still doing nothing, we drop right back into the emptiness at the bottom of the breath. Again and again, each time dropping deeper. So deep, we are not even doing the doing of waiting. And then we are truly drawn all the way up out of the emptiness. This way of being connected through the breath is worlds apart from looking for or listening for someone's breath. There is no separation. Our connection in that emptiness establishes the rhythm of all our subsequent moves and stretches. Being moved to that rhythm, we don't stop to see if they're still breathing to it. They usually are. But even if they forget to breathe, their body continues to surrender to the rhythm that are both doing nothing established in the emptiness. Every breath draws a move. Every move carries the breath with it. The breath on its way in as we push with a foot to turn, the breath on its way out as we settle down, preparing to push back. What we called the water breath dance when it was free of any impulse has brought us together into this body breath dance, in which both body and breath lead and follow. No matter how distant the shores the one in our arms may have drifted out to, the breath draws them back. These are the opening moves of basic Watsu, which is the first step on all the Watsu paths. On the professional path, these breath-timed moves lead into even more powerful stretches and combinations that can be adapted to all the kinds of conditions that Watsu has found success in treating. Basic Watsu can be followed by the rest of Watsu 1, which introduces transitions into and out of the major positions. Watsu 2, which expands the moves and stretches in those positions. And Watsu 3, which introduces free flow, which, leaving behind sequence, builds on what those sequences taught our bodies about being with someone in whatever position they arrive. Other classes focus on adapting Watsu in clinics and tandem Watsu. Everything begins with basic Watsu and its water breath dance. Another kind of movement appears on all of Watsu's paths. The shaking you watch now frees us from those breath-timed moves that originated in the emptiness at the base of our core. The stillness that follows floats someone at our heart, the other center of our core, the center of our connection to others, floats them on our arms, arms that reach out from our heart to hold others. And in that stillness, a beginning of a movement appears in one arm or the other, a movement that is not timed to the breath, but is drawn out from the heart, a continuum that has no beginning and no end, a continuum that draws more and more of our body into it, a continuum that evolves as one hand explores holding from one side and then explores reaching over and engaging even more of our body in support and containment. The continuum is focused on in our Watsu Explorer Path classes, where students of all levels explore the creative potential in Watsu and how the continuum can flow into new moves. In our basic Watsu, a third stage follows our engagement in the breath-timed moves and the Continuum. It is a stillness in which we hold someone out so far that neither our breath, nor our heart, nor our body are engaged in whatever is now allowed to be drawn up their own core. We never know what is inside another, but having been in others' arms, and from what those who have been in our arms have told us, we know many levels are reached in the short space of a basic Watsu. Its unconditional holding creates a safe containment, and the containment further frees whatever the breath-timed moves brought up. Basic Watsu is itself a path on which both the giver and receiver benefit and come to know more of their own wholeness, no matter how many times it is shared. The path does not stop at the pool's edge, but continues into the Tantra Yoga path on which those in a community can share the benefits of unconditional holding. In 1980, I started the development of Watsu by applying the stretches of the Zen Shiatsu I had studied in Japan while floating people in warm water. Zen Shiatsu incorporates stretches which release blockages along our meridians, the channels through which our ki or life force flows. In the Orient, stretching is an even older therapy than acupuncture, which focuses on points along those meridians. Stretching strengthens muscles and increases flexibility and range of motion. I found these effects can be amplified and made more profound by stretching someone while floating them in warm water. This is corroborated by physical therapists who, working with those with special needs, find Watsu effects a greater increase in the range of motion than traditional methods. By supporting, rocking, and moving the whole body while stretching a leg or arm, Watsu lessens the resistance there is when a limb is worked in isolation. When the whole body is in continual movement, each move flowing gracefully into the next, there is no way to anticipate what's coming next and build up resistance. Without pain, the body can move beyond those limitations fear would otherwise impose. New life is stretched into long, neglected connective tissue, and the restricted body is showing new possibilities of freedom. Warm water and the continuous support it provides is ideal for freeing the spine. It takes the weight off the vertebra and relaxes the muscles. Unrestricted by contraction, the circulation can carry away metabolites left over in the muscles, thereby reducing soreness and fatigue. The reduced requirements of oxygen found in states of weightlessness help calm the respiration. The relaxation of tension in the spine and the musculature, by removing excess pressure on the nerves, improves the tone and functioning of the whole body and the organs those nerves service. It allows the spine to be moved in ways impossible on land. This freeing of the spine is so important that it is the focus at the beginning of each Watsu. Even someone not flexible enough to be put into position for Watsu's more complex stretches receives great benefits from its simple rocking and gentle, gradual twists. And just as stretches and rotations of the arms and legs open up meridians flowing through them, this articulation of the spine helps open its energy pathways. Experiencing this greater flexibility and freedom reprograms a receiver to face life out of the water with greater equanimity and flexibility. Watsu affects us on all levels of our being, on the emotional, the psychological, and the spiritual, as well as on the physical. Many of its effects on the emotional are due to the trust Watsu engenders through its unconditional holding. A person's very life, their connection to the life-sustaining breath, is entrusted to the arms of the Watsuer. Watsu is the most nurturing of all bodywork. Many get in touch with the sadness of not having been held so before. Some get in touch with feelings locked in parts of their body that Watsu brings back into awareness. Each person is different. What each person gets out of Watsu is different. Some speak of an increasing awareness of where tensions are stored in their bodies and how to better deal with them. Others overcome a lifelong fear of water. Some float all the way back into the womb. Some re-experience their birth. Many delight at being able to feel the energy coursing throughout their body. And some experience a rising of energy, a moving up into a world of light. Each Watsu is different. Since its inception, Watsu has benefited those with a wide range of conditions. Its exceptional power to reduce stress has helped those with conditions such as chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and depression. Some of the populations it benefits are children, pregnant women, those with special needs, and the terminally ill. Today, Watsu is helping people in clinics and spas around the world. The transcripts of students from more than 60 countries who have attended our Watsu classes are stored on the Worldwide Aquatic Bodywork Registry. To see where classes in Watsu and related forms of aquatic bodywork are being held, visit our Watsu.com site. You can also find there results of studies and research into its benefits.